Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM20 Champions, episode 35. We're into the regular part of the classic season. Sorry, that's my phone going crazy. Into the regular part of the classic season, as in the non-cobbled versions. We begin with Amstel Gold today, and then we'll have a couple of the others like Liège, Bastogne Liège in this episode. Not a great day to be on the team, as most of the riders are in the red. A lot of -2s and 3s today, unfortunately, is going to make our chances a little more difficult. We've already gone through the first phase of this one, and we've got the most undulation through this next sector. But right now, everybody's fresh. We got 14 riders in the break. They do have a 4-minute gap, so at some point, it is going to take a concerted effort to pull that back. But that gap has been holding steady and is just starting to come back a little bit. Actually, down to 3.5 minutes. That was very quick that that came back together. Brought that down by almost a minute in just a handful of kilometers through those little climbs. I need my punchers and sprinters for a race like this one. And so we do have a combination of each that are protected. Groot, our best sprinter, has a +1 on the race day condition, so if we can get them through this, they would be a favorite to win. Doctor Strange, the better of the climbers that's here, has a +3 on the race day condition, and so that's good. Gamora is the most well-rounded of everyone and could be potentially who we end up riding for, or could end up being the lead out for Groot if Groot's still around. Does unfortunately have a -2, but she's got excellent resistance and stamina, climbing and sprinting. Very good combination of all of those things. So the -2 not actually hurting her too bad. She might be okay. After that, though, a lot of our support riders with all those minuses, they're going to have lower stamina and resistance today, and that could hurt. We're down to 114k now, so our next opportunity to get water is, well, right now. Looking for... Got another little hill and then a flat section, so this is a good time for Wolverine to be kind of dropping back before this climb. There you go, there you go, there you go, and get the water. Nice, right at the top of it. That's perfectly timed. Flat and then downhill section, much easier to bring the water up now. And task done. Inside 100k to go. Also, we're starting to get a little bit of blinking red, so let's speed up a little bit. We'll push 79 now. Those 14 riders in the break are now at 2 minutes 50. Okay, next little undulating period here. A few quick hills, but this area is not too bad as far as this race goes. There's that fatigue starting to set in. Our 79s are starting to be a bit of a struggle as well, but not too bad. We slip back in moments, but only briefly. So the team's still looking good so far. Deadpool's starting to feel the weight of the effort. Only one rider's been dropped. I think that number's going to start going up here pretty soon, though. This is that last kind of respite, though. The last flat section before we go into a lot of short, steep climbs on the way towards the finish. There we go. There's a group of riders getting dropped. Riders drifting backwards. So temporary splits. Could see a major split here at some point that might just stick. But that was the last climb for the next little bit. For us, Deadpool, Spider-Man still struggling, and this might be a good time to get that water. Final chance to get the water. Wolverine's still on it. If Wolverine had better condition, they would be one of the riders we are riding for, but that -5 to the stamina resistance really, really hurting what could otherwise be one of our better riders. Here in this last stage, this is the biggest elevation point, biggest climb that we have left. And I'd say soon after this, we're going to have to speed up a little bit more. We don't want to be drifting back. So let's start pushing, let's say 81. Brakes still intact. but their gap has come down by another minute, down to a minute 45. Peloton is at that point. We're starting to drop some riders, not just a few. Front group growing disorganized as we push into the final 43K. It's now pushed to an 82. Deadpool's not going to last much longer. Spider-Man's not going to last much longer. Wolverine's not going to last much longer. Okay, 83. Gel and gel for the 3 domestiques of the day. And they got through that portion. We've got another steep one. One of the longer climbs we're going to have the rest of the way coming up here shortly. All 3 of those have their gels active as we go into that. Peloton has split, and this is a steep climb. There's the one that I was talking about and preparing for. It's going to do a lot of damage. Deadpool, Wolverine are going to just about get there to the top on this one.
Only a few riders are capable of following the
At the moment, we have just 34 riders in the peloton, and the front group is down to 13. They dropped 1 rider, but they're also only 30 seconds ahead, so we're going to be bringing them in here quite soon. And with 26K to go, you could almost start running the train on this. However, we got 3 riders that are at their end. But this is the time. This is the time to start making a move. So let's see. We have Groot. We have Gamora. We have Doctor Strange, and then Ant-Man. And then that's where we're at. That's where we're at. 4 riders.
That's the end of the breakaway. The pack gave them no chance.
Okay, we caught the breakaway. This is a good time to start coming out front.
This climb features some dreadful percentages.
And you can see others are making their move now as well. A lot of the punchers having a nice little go here. Peloton's yo-yoing massively. Gamora and Groot really got caught out somehow. Gamora's covering that gap. Groot's feeling it, but they'll recover. We're at 36 at the moment in the peloton.
Only 15 kilometers left.
There we go. Okay, 15K to go. Ant-Man pushing on, keeping the pressure on. It's at 42 riders. A lot of those that are making contact again are going to do so in a challenging way where they're just not going to have much energy left. It's one of the last climbs we're going to have to face besides the finishing one. Okay, little acceleration here for Ant-Man, and then we're going to push on with Doctor Strange.
Only 10 kilometers left.
Down to 27. Yeah, just the final climb to go. 21. We are splitting off riders who just can't hang with this tempo that we are setting right now. 7.4K to go. This isn't going to be a sprint. We need to switch the order here. We're going to ride for Gamora. She's already looking better anyway. And B, it's very much an uphill finish. Doctor Strange just riding it out as hard as they can. Using up what they've got left. 3K to go. Gel, final gel. Alright. Merge out from behind Doctor Strange. 1K to go. Come on, Groot.
This climb is feared by many riders. The percentages are very high. There goes the sprint.
And the last 400 meters. Come on. Gamora. No, I did not go too early. Gamora got caught behind Groot, though.
A really
That hurt.
powerful
Hershey
sprint
takes the
finish
win,
declared
ahead of
a
Simmons,
great
ahead of Van Aert.
victory.
We were well placed and just didn't. For one thing, Doctor Strange, right? I was hanging behind Doctor Strange, who didn't have the red bar. Just a little too late. That allowed some of the other teams to advance their position, and we lost the advantage that we had there. So I should have come out with Groot just a little bit sooner. But looking at the energy, right? Groot, almost nothing left. So they did what they could. And Gamora, out a red bar, but had yellow bar. Gamora being blocked by Groot obviously did not help. She barely made the top 10. Would have been higher if that hadn't happened. So kind of two mistakes in there. One, Doctor Strange still following when I should have already overtaken with Groot a little bit further out, 500 meters, 600 meters, maybe 1K sooner before the descent anyway, to keep that front position and start the final climb from the front instead of from about 10th position. But then the second one, not a mistake, but an unfortunate outcome where Groot blocked Gamora. So I guess the game decided I needed a handicap today after we've been pretty successful lately. Up and down the squad is almost all red. We've got 2 riders with +1s, and then everybody else has major negative red, icky, gross race day conditions. Spider-Man has a -4, Hulk has a -3, Gamora has a -3. So our top 2 climbers are -3s today, so good luck to us. Breakaway, just 3 riders, 2 minutes, 20 seconds to them. Field's starting to split. We need to up our effort. We're already on our first time up the Murdahui. And once we hit the top here, we need to send somebody back to get water. And somebody's already way back. Deadpool with Ant-Man. Ant-Man, go ahead and take care of the water. $139 left in the peloton, so it's already come down quite a bit, and I don't think those riders off the back are going to make it back on. Those splits are the painful kind. Oh man. Half the team down in a crash. That was the other handicap that we apparently needed and didn't know we needed recently. That's 2 of our leaders on the day. See if we can get back on. Technically, we're 2 minutes down from the peloton, but it wasn't that far away.
This climb features some dreadful percentages. The pack is back on level terms with the breakaway group.
There you go. Okay, let's get those 3 pushing through, making their way to the front. And actually, let's be smart about this. Field just split massively as we go for setting ourselves up for the second time up the Murdahui. This game's really not liking our setup at the moment. Ant-Man, let's start that pursuit. Meanwhile, at the front, Groot. Yeah, there's already big gaps here. So 3 riders left at the front is all. Make sure they're set up and ready to go. Ant-Man still has not come to the front. That's not helping us. 4 riders trying to attack. Come on, Groot. Come on, Groot. So far down the order at the moment. See just how far behind we are. And Ant-Man lost the wheel. Spider-Man lost the wheel. Gamora lost the wheel. They're recovering it, though. Not worried about the red bar part. You can recover that. Still 25K to go. Deadpool got dropped. Really? Even at an 86? Hulk's the only one still there. 5 riders at the front. Small gap. No red bar for Groot, but fast enough flat rating that you can see we're quickly making some gains here. Sean Quinn got caught back here behind for some reason as well.
Quick attack
Once
by
we get to
David
Deadpool,
Godin.
we'll
Counter-attack by Luchenko.
get them into this thing and start that push back. There you go. Okay. Deadpool is fresh, so let's get Deadpool. Again, 5 riders at the front, and Hulk still in contention.
We've got 15 kilometers to the finish line.
Ant-Man, Spider-Man are nearly done. On to Gamora, who would have been one of the favorites on the day.
And it's a swift acceleration by Maximilian Schachmann.
Not sure we're going to get back in this thing. That gap is a bit too large, isn't it?
Counter-attack by Romain Bardet.
Isn't it?
10 kilometers remaining.
Ooh, there's more riders that have gone off. This group split. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. How far back are they now? Just now coming around this corner. $7.5K to go.
Luchenko's off.
This climb is feared by many riders. The percentages are very high.
89, and we are massively getting outclimbed at the moment by everybody else around us. Well, not a good hill rating. We need an 85.
We're into the last 5 kilometers.
And that's why this is not a good... Hulk's not the rider you want to be riding for.
We've just learned of a fall. Let's hope that all riders will get up quickly.
Think we might be in the top 10, but only just. Soler doing the work. That's good. There we go. Final time up the Murdahui. We certainly have more energy than a few of these riders. There's only 5 left ahead of us, so we are in the battle for a decent overall finish. 800 meters. 700 meters.
Oh, yes,
600 meters. We're moving past Formalo. And we can sprint it out and beat out a few of these guys that are fading for 10th place. There was more riders up the road than I thought. There was another group. Ciccone took the win. Lutsenko, Robert Power, Alaphilippe, Mahorich, Schachmann. Deadpool is coming through a little late. Totally missed out on the top 20. We have had some bad luck in our last few races. That dominance isn't dominant right now. Deadpool obviously could have finished a little higher if I was focused on them there at the end, but barely squeaked out top 10s in these last couple races, and things have not gone according to plan. Let's see with one more what we can do. It's Liège, Bastogne-Liège. We're already hitting the first major climb as you get into this later phase where there's a lot of undulation on your way to the finish. Our luck is slightly better today, but it's still really not good for the 3rd race in a row over the last week and a half. We've had some pretty rough go of things when it comes to the race day condition. Today it's just 3 riders in the negative. Spider-Man on a -2, Wolverine on a -1, and unfortunately, again, our favorite, the best rider we have for this type of race for the 3rd straight race, Gamora, with a nasty race day condition. This time, significantly worse. It's a -5 for Gamora today. We're not suffering from any fitness issues. We're not suffering from too much fatigue. It's just shit luck. Well, let's get on with it. We'll do what we can. Hulk at least does have a +2 if you add a little bit of punchiness. You know, they're almost tolerable now. The resistance is also pretty good. So Hulk could be an option today. We do have Spider-Man, who's on a -2. That has the 81 on the punchiness and 75 on the mountain, but down to 72 on the resistance. Gamora, even with a -5, still has a 74 resistance. She's not as good, but she's still good. And so we will still ride for Gamora ultimately. I just don't know what she'll be capable of. As bad as our luck has been on the race day condition, 2 crashes in the last 3 races we've had. Very impactful type races, Paris-Roubaix, and then last time at Flèche Wallonne. That bad luck, I mean, come on. That just can't keep happening over and over again, right? We'll see. If we can keep everybody on the bike today, I like our chances of getting a better result than what we've had lately of just squeaking into top 10s and nothing better. That's my goal, at least get into the top 5 today. We'll see. We'll see. That race day condition part, again, not going to help too much. Let's start pushing into the 80s as we get into this last phase. 77K. For a moment there was only 41 riders left in the peloton, and that moment lasted a good 15-20 kilometers. I thought it was actually going to stick like that, but over that climb, things reconnected. And we're at 116 now. Breakaway, relatively small, just 9 riders, and relatively small gap at 2 minutes. Fatigue is starting to set in. Groot isn't going to last much longer. We'll go ahead and use their gel now as we're about to hit the Col de Rosier. This one's going to hurt. Down to 100 now in the peloton. A few of our riders drifting back on this one, but not too far. And we need water one final time. This is actually the best time to get that taken care of. Let's use Ant-Man's way up front. Who's at the back? It's Groot. We'll use Groot. I don't know how successful they'll be on the task, but give them a shot. Down to 74 in the peloton. The breakaway is also down to 8 riders. As they're starting to fall apart and break up on these climbs, and with that gap shrinking, Groot nearly back up here before we hit the climb, but they're not quite going to get there. And with not too much energy and no gel left, I'm a little nervous on whether they'll actually succeed in getting everybody water, but it looks like they're going to get the job done. And they do. Nicely done there. Okay, a little more undulation before we reset for the next climb. Little downhill section. I'm not sure if the heart rate's going to drop enough for anybody to begin recovery. Front group breaking up, 1 rider going clear. Peloton at 84. It's getting smaller and smaller. We're going to have to gel up for Wolverine fairly soon. This climb, depending on the pace, is going to do a lot of damage. I think we're going to have less than 84 for sure at the top of this one.
Rhythm at the moment. Some riders definitely won't be able to keep up. It's in such percentages that the strongest can create some gaps.
Race official very much in the way right now. And we're through that.
Only a few riders are capable
Things are
of following the
yo-yoing.
very fast pace up front.
And we're setting up the next climb already. Wolverine, time to gel up. Everybody else still looking pretty good. But also, things are intensifying for a late race heroics. 2 riders trying to go clear, but they're immediately reeled back in. Inside the final 30K, 53 riders left in contention. And the gaps behind suggest that nobody outside of maybe those 3 riders are going to make it back. Ooh, 29 riders actually coming on pretty hard. It's a minute gap, and it's pretty late for them to try to make that up. I'm tempted to go sprint
The
train.
pack is quick in the pace.
That's why I was
The
quiet. I
riders
was
are going
thinking
through
about
a
it.
very tough portion with percentages
Weighing the
above
options.
10%.
Not yet. Not yet. Now we can do that. 3 riders go clear. Now it's 18 kilometers to go. Okay, Gamora's still looking good. Hulk's looking good. Spider-Man's looking good. Deadpool's looking good. And then Ant-Man. Wolverine and Groot are the only 2 that are done. Wait, who's at the front? Wolverine? Oh, Wolverine. Okay. Well, then we'll follow Wolverine for the moment. They at least had a moment of trying to push the tempo. Now Ant-Man is arriving, so we'll let them take over. 17.5K to go. And we're in pretty good shape.
And it's a swift acceleration by Maximilian Schachmann.
Okay. Game's not following my orders terribly well at the moment. Shockman's the one who went clear, but he's not clear in a manner that's actually going to set him up for anything. Nice downhill here. We want to get clear of all of this. So Ant-Man's going to burn up what he's got left to get us out front. And now we are in the prime position as we approach the finish. 11.7K to go. Spider-Man's a little tired. I think we need a swap here.
The finish line is getting close. The riders just passed the 10 kilometers road sign.
Inside 10K. Okay, Ant-Man's done. Gonna try to get onto the back of the group. You have a little bit of yellow bar left. You could maybe break the toe from somebody else and give us a chance to go solo to the victory. Spider-Man now pushing hard. 7K to go.
Falling behind.
Up the Côte de la Saint Nicolas, and Spider-Man's done. Got us nearly to the top already on a 99 effort. Got 3 riders left, and as we push over the top of this one, it's a real opportunity to open the gap behind us. Hulk and Gamora, not much left, but we have a group of 6 with us. Mark Hershey, Shockman, and Alaphilippe. That's going to be a tough group to beat out for the finish. But here's the gel. Hulk and Gamora have that little bit left in the tank. Deadpool pushing us up for that final climb. $1.4K to go. Hulk, what's going on here? Hulk did nothing on that. They had time. Gamora does not have a. Gamora doesn't have enough. We're gonna end up finishing 4th, 5th, and not even 6th, unfortunately.
Yes, victory.
All 3 were stronger. Shockman, Hershey, Alaphilippe, but we do get that top 5 we've been waiting for. There's Hulk taking 4th. If Gamora doesn't have the -5, she absolutely would have competed with those 3 for the victory. And she didn't even hang on for 5th. She slipped down to 10th. Deadpool squeezes into the top 20. Spider-Man just behind that in 22nd. Yeah, see, Hulk doesn't have the punchiness as the climb. That's why we needed Gamora, who has both. And sprint. Her condition for all 3 of these races has been atrocious. -11? No, -10 net over the 3 races of this episode. That hurt. That hurt. And no reason for it. Just really bad draws. It happens sometimes. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. I'm glad we at least squeaked out a top 5 in the end. A little redemption for what's been a rough last 4 races. See you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. And bye for now.